I had a catch-up conversation this morning with a former colleague who is Muslim, and our conversation went into spiritual topics. And he mentioned a word from Islam that really impacted me, and I've been reflecting on this concept all day. It's the concept of Taqwa. And Taqwa basically means God consciousness. It's a way of being that's virtuous and principled. And we're at a time of the year now, we just finished Ramadan and Eid, where Taqwa is very present with us as we're emerging from this time of Ramadan, which involves fasting and discipline and practice and devotion, continuing to live and abide by these principles of God consciousness is incredibly important, whether one is Muslim or any other type of faith or worldview. And I really resonate with Taqwa because it's so foundational, it's so fundamental. It's a way of being that basically acknowledges that everything is about being in service to others, to God, to nature, to the universe, and to one's deepest nature. We can look at it from the point of view of quantum physics, where there's an implicate order, which is the unified field, and then there's an explicate order, which is everything that we experience with our senses and our thoughts and our feelings. And Taqwa is the acknowledgement that the implicate order is the explicate order and is beyond our comprehension. And that by living virtuously, by adhering to core principles, which in Islam are very clear. There are specific principles. For example, only worship the one God, Allah. Don't murder other people. Don't lie. And other religions and faiths and philosophies also have principles. So to be one's best is to basically practice Taqwa. And Taqwa is a practice. It's something that we can become better at. It's an everyday devotion that invites us into the betterment of ourselves so that we can come into a more powerful state of presence that creates more possibility for ourselves and for the world around us. At a time like this, what we're experiencing right now geopolitically and so on, and culturally, Taqwa is a particularly important concept. There are two ways, according to Islam. There's the way of the Pharaoh and the way of the prophet. The way of the Pharaoh is one that's very egoic. It has to do with the horizontal plane of materialistic matters and dominating other people, exploiting other people. And the path of the prophet has to do with the vertical plane of our relationship with Allah, God, consciousness, the universe, nature. And it's a path of service and devotion, of humility, of remaining in one's own lane while honoring others and being of service to everyone, to all, especially to Allah, God, consciousness, universe, nature, and so on, as a way of being indomitable, of being unshakable, of having an undefeated heart that is radiant and full of life and love and possibility, regardless of external circumstances. So my question for you is, what does Taqwa represent for you? If you practice Islam, well, that is a very clear answer. And I would love to hear your perspective about my own interpretation and also your own experience with Taqwa. If this is a new concept for you, my invitation is to reflect on what this represents for you, what the practices are, the everyday devotions are that you have implemented in your life or you're endeavoring to integrate that allow you to become a more embodied, radiant, indomitable version of yourself.